Welcome back tonight to State of the Nation with me, Matt Goodwin, and welcome to Two-Tier Britain. Some of you may remember the Labour government's ruthless crackdown on the riots and disorder that followed the Southport attack last summer. It puzzled many people. How could it be that the Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, the man who took the knee to the Black Lives Matter movement with his deputy Angela Rayner, just hours after the mob had pulled down the statue of Edward Colston in Bristol, just hours after that mob had harassed and assaulted police officers, how could he all of a sudden be a law and order Prime Minister? It didn't end with the crackdown on rioters. The Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, withheld information from the public regarding the terror charges of the Southport suspect, claiming if he hadn't, it could have prejudiced a trial, even though numerous cases emerged from the past where Keir Starmer had referred to other terror attacks as such within hours. Then it emerged in January that an internal Home Office report, get this, had described the idea of two-tier policing as a far-right extremist narrative. Well, the last 24 hours have turned the government's narrative completely upside down. Why? Because the independent reviewer of terrorism legislation, Jonathan Hall KC, has claimed that it was a failure to disclose the facts about the Southport killer, Axel Ruda-Cabana, that risked prejudicing the trial. If the truth had come out earlier, there would never have been an information vacuum, he says. But it gets worse than that. Not only did the Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, handle Southport catastrophically, but we now have definitive proof today that we are living in a two-tier society. The Sentencing Council, shockingly, has issued new guidance that would make prison sentences, get this, less lightly for racial, sexual, ethnic and religious minorities. In a statement, the Council justified its effectively racist policy, and I'll call it what it is, it's a racist policy, on the grounds that there are disparities within the judicial system and therefore outcomes should be rectified in this manner. The Labour government has distanced itself from the guidance, with Justice Secretary Shabana Mahmood saying that she completely disagrees with the guidance. But just this evening, the Times newspaper has reported that these guidelines were drawn up off the back of David Lammy's report from 2017. Shock horror. But the policy also stems from the most sacred of new Labour legislation, the Equality Act. So much that is wrong with Britain goes back to that piece of legislation. Labour may say that they want these rules scrapped. They may say they don't agree with two-tier sentencing, but they would never, ever dare touch the Equality Act. So look, what I'm saying tonight is as long as the Equality Act stays in place, as long as it remains unreformed, we are destined to become a two-tier country indefinitely. And that's something, of course, that nobody of sound mind in this country wants to see.